Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, how strong do you need to get to look good, to build a quality amount of muscle mass, the kind that you can be proud of? We're not talking necessarily bodybuilder level, but how strong do you need to get to build a quality amount of muscle mass to look good? And what happens? I'm going to also answer the question, what to do when you're getting stronger, but you're not getting as big as you want. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. Come on over, submit your questions. The best questions I turn into videos just like this. All right. So I don't think I've ever heard this answered in a video before. I've never addressed a topic like this. How strong do you need to get as big as possible to look good, you know, look good at the beach or just have an impressive amount of muscle mass or whatever. And, you know, I come into my videos and I wing things. I just go on personal experience. So I didn't come pre-planned with an answer. So I'm thinking back to when I really started lifting hardcore in 1986 till 1988, about 2.5 years straight. My bench press got up to about 315 by 3 or 4 reps. My squat was about 365 for 3 to 4, and I didn't deadlift at the time. But all my other lifts were really strong. I was doing dips with a lot of weight, and you know, even some pull-ups and heavy rows, and pull-ups with some weight and heavy rows. And I was doing a lot of compound movements. I got really strong on them in 2.5 years. And so what is really strong? What do you guys have to set a goal for? These are general levels, and I'll explain what to do if you're getting close to them and not seeing results. Obviously, some of us are born with a greater degree of strength than others. Some of us are more adept naturally at exercises like pull-ups. Some of us might have more back strength or leg strength, or some of the big boys out there have more strength right out of the womb. So, bench press. I would say you need to aim for about 315 pounds or 275 pounds for 3 to 4 reps. Shoulder overhead, dumbbell overhead presses, 90s or 100s for reps, 80s at minimum for reps. Barbell presses, military presses, you need to aim for at least 185 or 3 to 4 reps. Probably more like over 200 for 3 to 4 reps. And I'm working my way around the horn. We got shoulders. We got rows. Dumbbell rows, I would aim for 150s, and most of your gyms might not have 150s, but 150s for a good, decent set of 6 to 10. If you don't have 150s, you know, multiple sets of 120s for 10 to 12 or 10 to 15. Barbell rows, you know, your barbell rows got to be pretty close to your bench press. So you're looking at about 275 by 3 to 4 reps or 225 by 10 or whatever. Squats, about what I hit, 365 for 3, 4, 5 reps. That's a good level to reach. And, you know, all the other lifts, you know, the hamstrings, you know, arm strength, all that kind of stuff is relative. But if you're getting your shoulders and back and chest and quads and all that kind of stuff up to par, you're going to have decent arm strength, you're going to have decent arm size, you're going to have decent hamstring size. So those are some general rules, some general guidelines. And obviously, I'm not addressing every lift. Now, the question becomes, we see a lot of guys who are like gaining strength, but they're not gaining as much muscle mass as they want. How do you fix this? Well, number one, stop obsessing with low rep sets. Stop obsessing with low rep sets. We have got so ingrained into the low rep sets or the strength building culture that we have forgot to do more volume. So that would be the first step. Stop with the 5 rep sets, the 1, 2, and 3 rep sets. Stop with that and stick with 6 to 15 reps per set per exercise. You want to get, if you're doing 2 to 3 sets or 3 to 4 sets on a exercise, make sure you're averaging 8 to 10 reps on the average. That's not a rule. That's just a general range for most exercises. Number 2, if you're building, because that'll add in rep volume, which will help you with hypertrophy or the muscle building process. Number 2, don't just do the big exercises and a couple wimpy assistance exercises and get out of the gym. make sure you're hitting each body part, whether you're doing it full body or upper lower or split, with a sufficient amount of exercises and volume per week. Probably 14 to 16 sets per body part per week, 12 to 16 minimum, 12 minimum, 12 to 16 per week. That will increase your overall volume as well. That'll increase your intensity placed upon that body part, because a lot of guys will go in, they'll do their heavy squats, and then they don't do a lot of quad work. Or they'll go do their bench press, and they don't do a lot of tricep or chest work. You have to back it up. Do your big compound movements, then maybe do a lighter compound movement or a less stressful compound movement. Then move on to machines and cables and isolations and all that kind of good stuff. Get 12 to 16 or 14 to 16 sets per week. You also want to make sure you have a goal on each set. Progression is good. Trying to add 5 pounds on a strength lift is good. But one thing we've lost track of is making sets count. And Arnold was a master of this. And this is the single most important strategy, in my opinion, when you're looking at building muscle or looking at the hypertrophy process, making every set count. Pushing each set for as many reps as possible. Only safe reps. Stop that set when your form starts to break down or when you believe you might fail on the next rep. The deeper into a set you push for reps, the more muscle fibers you're recruiting. This also lends itself to progression. So you get a double-pronged benefit. You're getting stronger on this exercise, and you're maximizing muscle fiber recruitment. So you got 2 different attacks, progressive overload and maximal muscle fiber recruitment, attacking the muscle building process. So in the gym, if you just stop doing all the low rep sets and make sure you're doing an increased number of reps per set, you're raising your volume, you're raising your rep volume. You make sure you're doing 12 to 14 to 16 sets per major body part, chest, shoulders, back, quads. For minor body parts like arms, biceps, triceps, hamstrings, you can do 6 to 9 sets per week. That'll increase your volume as well. Your set volume with a good amount of reps per set will increase your overall workload. And then, if you add into the equation where you're making every set count or making most sets count, taking most sets to the limit, you're increasing set intensity. And I'm not talking about intensity, meaning your weight relative to your 1 rep max. I'm just talking about overall intensity, how intense that set feels. You take these 3 steps alone, and you're really going to maximize the muscle building process, and you're going to maximize the impact of progressive overload. Adding volume, adding progressive overload, adding a maximal muscle fiber recruitment by taking sets to the limit. Those are the 3-pronged attack. You combine that with a decent, reasonable diet that isn't a cutting diet. It doesn't have to be a super aggressive bulk, but you're eating 300 to 500 calories above maintenance level, and you are going to build a lot of muscle while you're progressing to the strength levels, the generalized strength levels that I presented in this video. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. If you've made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.